AITAH for leaving my boyfriend's friend group chat after they kept joking about me. So I, 19F, have been dating my boyfriend, 21M, for about 6 months now. A few weeks ago, he added me to his group chat with his close friends because we were all going to meet for a trip they were planning. At first, it was chill. They were welcoming and all. But then the jokes started. It started off small, like calling me Miss Influencer when I'd post selfies, or saying stuff like, "Oh, she's high maintenance," when I mentioned I liked getting my nails done. I laughed it off even though it made me kind of uncomfortable. But then one of them sent a meme about girls who trap guys and tagged me in it like, "Yo, this you," and everyone reacted with laughing emojis. I didn't even know what to say. The thing is, I don't even post anything that crazy online. I mean, I try to look cute, sure, but I don't think I give off that vibe. You can probably see what I mean. I asked my boyfriend in private if he could maybe say something, because it was getting kind of disrespectful. But he said, "They're just joking, don't take it personal." So a few days ago, I just quietly left the group chat, didn't make a scene or anything. Now some of them are calling me too sensitive, and my boyfriend says I made it awkward for him with his friends. But like, if I don't feel comfortable, isn't it okay to just step away? AITAH for leaving the chat. AITAH for kicking my girlfriend out for diagnosing me. I, M36, have been dating Mandy, F34, for 6 months. My place is closer to her work, so she sleeps over a few nights a week and has a key. She also finishes work earlier than I do, so she usually gets to my place before me. I have anxiety and see a therapist once a month. I manage it by maintaining routines and schedules. For example, when I get home, I feed my cat first, then wash my hands, start cooking, and then clean up. I don't expect her to do anything around my house, but I do expect her to at least put her dirty dishes in the dishwasher. When I explained this to her, she asked, "Are you autistic?" I said I didn't think so, and added that this is just basic courtesy. Even if I was autistic, I'd still expect the same. But she kept doing it. I came home again to dirty dishes all over. She uses bowls for snacks and cups for drinks. When I asked her why she didn't put them in the dishwasher, she replied, "There's that tism again. You really need to get tested." Last night when I got home, she asked me to grab her a can of Coke. I said I'd do it after I fed my cat. She yelled, "Well, you autistic fuck. You can't even break your routine for a can of Coke. How long are you going to be in denial? Just get tested." I told her to leave. Whether I'm autistic or not is none of her business. She got mad and left. Later, she sent me a bunch of TikToks about autism, saying she was just trying to help. Was I the asshole? I don't like my house being dirty. AITA for thinking this was unfair or possibly racially motivated. Yesterday at play rehearsal, we broke for lunch. I didn't have much, just half a container of sushi I was sharing with my brother. At the same time, the school was undergoing renovations, and the work crew had also broken for lunch. Someone had ordered about 12 boxes of pizza for them. One of my friends, White, somehow got 3 slices. Another, also White, asked and was given a slice. Even my director, White, was with me when she asked for a slice, and they let her take one too. Since I didn't have much to eat, my director encouraged me to get a slice too. She even said I probably didn't need to ask, but out of respect, I still did. I asked the guy who ordered the pizza if I could take one slice, and he told me no, said not everyone had eaten yet, and they didn't have enough to give food out to every starving child they came across. I went back inside and told my friends, and they were surprised. My director also seemed confused. A little while later, that same guy, who I later realized is my friend's dad and the school's pastor, brought in 2 slices specifically for his daughter, who was already eating a sandwich at the time. For context, I'm African American. I don't want to jump to conclusions or assume anything, but something about this whole thing felt off. It's not sitting right with me, and it's been on my mind ever since. AITA outed my closeted uncle after he shamed me for being gay at a family dinner. I, 25 male, came out to my family at 20. Most were cool, but my uncle Dave, 45 male, has always been weird about it, constantly making comments like, "You don't have to act so gay," or, "When I was younger, men kept that to themselves." I shrugged it off until last week. At a family dinner, Dave started going off about how pride parades are just perverts wanting attention, and how real men don't flaunt it. When I called him homophobic, he smirked and said, "Your generation's obsessed with labels. Why can't you just be normal?" Here's where I might have been the asshole. I'd suspected Dave wasn't straight for years. He's always been oddly fixated on my dating life, and once I even spotted him on Grindr, I recognized his torso tattoo in a very NSFW pic. I never said anything until now. I snapped, "That's rich coming from a guy who's on Grindr every weekend. How's that working out for you?" Silence. Then my aunt gasped she had no idea. Dave went pale, knocked over his wine glass, and left. Later, my mom texted me, "You humiliated him. Was that necessary?" Some family members are on my side, but others say outing him crossed a line, even if he's an asshole. I'm torn. He's been nasty to me for years, but I know how dangerous it is to out someone. AITA. AITA for walking out of my boyfriend's family dinner after his parents made homophobic comments? I, 25F, have been dating my boyfriend, 27M, for 2 years. We're pretty serious but still figuring things out. He comes from a super conservative family while mine's more liberal, but we've always respected each other's views. Last month, his parents invited us to stay with them for a weekend. I was nervous but excited to finally meet them. Everything was going fine until dinner on the first night when his dad started ranting about immigrants stealing jobs and women being too emotional for politics. I tried to stay quiet, but when he said something about how the gays are destroying family values, I couldn't help myself. I calmly said I disagreed and explained that my brother is gay and he's one of the most family-oriented people I know. The table went completely silent. Then his mom said maybe I should keep those opinions to myself in their house. I didn't blow up, but I did say that I couldn't sit there and listen to them talk about people I love like that. I got up, packed my bag, and booked a hotel room for the night. My BF followed me but was pissed. He said I embarrassed him and that I should have just nodded along to keep the peace since that's just how they are. He thinks I overreacted and should have just changed the subject instead of making a scene. I told him I wasn't going to pretend to agree with hateful views just to make his parents comfortable. He says I'm being stubborn and that sometimes you need to compromise in relationships. Now he's giving me the cold shoulder, and his mom texted saying I was disrespectful. AITA for walking out instead of just letting it go. AITAH for not calling my grandparents enough after I just had a baby. I-24F just had a baby 3 months ago via C-section. My elderly grandparents, who essentially raised me, live 3 hours away now, which has been tough on my grandma, especially since she can't see the baby as much as she'd like. In the first 2 months, I communicated with my grandma via text and calls and pictures a lot. It was hard considering all the family we have here. Both BF and I come from divorced families. And I'm not exactly a fan of my phone in that sense, but I did it. I'm going back to work next week. Preparing myself for that has honestly been devastating for me overall. I've been going to daycares and touring like crazy. Baby just got her vaccinations. She was diagnosed with torticollis and will have to start weekly physical therapy. She also has pretty bad reflux and just started medication for it. She also just had her first Easter, which I wanted to make special, even if she won't remember it. I'm doing the best I can right now, but we're definitely shifting out of the newborn phase into the infant phase, and everything's new all over again. This morning, my grandpa texted me saying he sees what it does to my grandma when I don't return her calls. It breaks her heart, and I need to do better. Something in that triggered TF out of me, because for one, I went through my call log, and all of my grandma's call had been answered or returned. I just took a little too long to answer her text from that morning, I guess. Also, I'm already doing the best that I can, and hearing that I'm not doing good enough really fucking stung. So I listed everything above in a text back to him and apologized. Never heard back. AITAH.